Hey everybody, welcome back. We're still anonymously on the beta patch. I don't think there's beta. We are still working on making it balanced. Look, I support this. I'm enjoying the situation as it stands right now, where I'm going to buy one of these. I'm going to freeze you. I'm going to roll, hoping for a fish. Got a fish. 50-50 shot. Hit the fish, please. Hit the fish. Look at that. Somebody up there likes me. I'm enjoying being on the cutting edge of scientific discovery in the world of super auto pets right now. Still trying to. It's that beautiful period where there's no equilibrium. All right, if you'll excuse me here. How'd you get to be 3-2? Because of 2 otters, maybe? How did you get to be 2-1? Oh, because the horse gave you the buff. Of course. Okay. So you're still 2-1. We can afford one of these. We can afford one of bees. I saw a very compelling post on my subreddit about bees recently that got me thinking. But what I was going to say first is, everybody wants to be in a position where they're playing the game before the meta gets, like, static, right? Nobody wants to be in a situation where you're playing, like, TFT and literally everybody that you play against is just rolling the icy veins, like, best compositions. But they all complain, you know, like, oh, there's constant changes. Well, the change is how you get this fluid environment. But anyway, bees, I've previously erroneously described them as maybe like a 1-1 that's overrated, but I saw some compelling situations that it actually turns a draw into a win. Not a drawn round necessarily, but a drawn battle. And the reason is because it helps you overcome statistical imbalances. For example, R3-4 could go up against like a 7-3 and they'll draw. The only way we can actually turn that into a win is to add like 5 to our health, which is impossible right now, more or less. I guess we could do this and add an apple and, you know, eventually we might get there. But it's very easy to do, to just add, you know, a 3 gold bee and all of a sudden we trade and then our bee comes out there. Obviously, you can't necessarily plan for the specific cases where you hope that'll come to pass, but watch me. I'm going to get a little crazy here, okay? I'm going to sell this mosquito only for the time being. I'm going to try to sell both beavers. Mission highly failed. The whole point was literally just to make our peacock like a little bit better. And mission failed unsuccessfully. So this is a terrible place to be in. I bought ducks even though I think they're actually like pretty much straight garbage tier right now. We got super lucky. Like that mosquito actually saved our lives by making our peacock stronger right away. We won the round. That's staggering to me. I genuinely can't believe it. Dude, it's tough to do, but I'm going to sell this otter because I think a shrimp into a roll I have to, I like that it's complicated. Let's put it that way. Don't make the duck tankier. You knew it was coming, right? Like, there was a really good chance that was going to happen, but I don't really like an elephant that hits a peacock, just to be honest with you. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get crazy. I think we're just going to roll. Like, that is not a good use of our money, but we are, like, a 3-8 elephant in the back is kind of cracked. And then, I don't know, a 2-4 ants might get a kill, and hopefully it feeds the peacock. This is a scary team. Yeah, we lose this. But that team is just, like, they're rolling. They're, like, their first shop still into the late game here. Okay, so you should go. That's fine. It's kind of nice even. I don't really know about a peacock. If we're going to make it work, we want to do something like this. We could have put a rabbit out there too, but I still think I prefer the value from a swan. I still like this, but in theory, we could make a hurt team. The problem is, like, to make the elephant really pop... Oh, we're screwed here, man. To make an elephant really pop, you need, like, so much more utility. Like, you need to base your whole team around, like, an elephant that hits a camel. Maybe it also hits a blowfish simultaneously. Like, it's not an easy task. So I'm just going to level with you. I think we have to clean house. And I accept that that might lead to a loss this time, which is getting really close to being too late in the game for it to work. But work with me, okay? Just work with me for a second. Let's not get a second shrimp. That's where things start to go, like, horribly wrong for me. Let's do an elephant that hits a blowfish. It's an interesting idea here. The dog is showing up maybe a lot late. I was going to say a little late, but maybe a lot late. I'm going to sell our swan, even though I think it's pretty good. I'm going to get a turtle out here. I'm going to add... I mean, it's a tough one. Don't really love the idea of adding anything to anyone right here, so instead I'm just going to roll, which is dangerous in and of itself. Okay, I think I'm going to sell the shrimp, finally. I'm sure people are saying finally. Have the elephant hit the camel, which will buff the peacock, and then you just exist. Freeze me to use later. This is a, well, we'll see. This is a spicy one. For round 6, considering the kind of, you know, gamers you go up against on the test patch, I wouldn't consider this like a high likelihood of success. However, the camel is kind of doing something right now. You can't deny it. Is it doing as much as a kangaroo would? Or will in this disgusting situation that presents itself here? No, we will draw. After all that, we're going to draw. Okay. We've still got 2 lives. I'm not saying this is going to work. I think that's probably insane. I think we don't kill our turtle. Level 2 turtle. Okay, now, like, you didn't do anything last time, and that's not really your fault. But I like the idea of maybe a kangaroo behind the peacock, because the peacock is the benefactor of, like, all these stats that we're getting here. You could probably be frozen. It's not a good team, and our stats are not getting better. But this is a rare squad. I love that we just ruined the melon armor on our on our camel, and it also just costs us a trigger more or less. Hold on, we're still chilling. Hold on, we're still chilling. We have a rare team that is based like entirely around synergistic abilities instead of just, you know, getting our stats as high as possible. So that's kind of cool. We really need to just get stronger, quite frankly. So I think maybe that's our best value. And I say that as somebody who's not really an enormous fan of what the peacock's capable of. Obviously, we could create 2 melon armors pretty easily. I was just going to say, I wouldn't mind doing that if I see that there's another turtle. And I think the way that I want to do this is actually like this. These are 2 units that benefit from that. And now I'm like, well, why would I want another turtle to begin with? That's a great point. You don't really need another turtle after that, because we actually prefer you not to have melon armor. So let's send out a deer instead. I would, like, 4 wins would actually be enough for me to feel special on this one. That's pretty nice, admittedly. Because this is not the kind of, like, meta build that's going to take you into, you know, the 21st century. To just pick up, my God, we're actually going to do it. To pick up 4 wins would be something for me. And we got there. Let's see if we can extend it a little bit. The problem that we have is that we really need to pivot, because our units are not scaling, but we have nothing to pivot them to. You know, we just have to, I mean, as soon as we, like, sell one thing, the whole situation kind of falls apart. I really don't think you need a chili pepper, let's be honest. A monkey that buffs a deer? Yeah, but what do you get rid of, right? Like, Well, it's not ideal, but let's keep this peacock rolling. I know that it seems like the camel needs some help. Well, the camel can get some help as soon as it finds a partner, you know? Okay, this is not good. I don't see how we win this one. I think there's a simple answer. I think we don't. But I wasn't being facetious. Getting the 4 wins on that... Oh, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. Definitely, we're going all the way. This is a 10-win run. Source, dude, just trust me. I actually would not mind at all hitting the peacock for 1 now and then, as long as the camel is offsetting it. But we need to see, obviously, like, chocolate to make that happen. Camel doesn't really need garlic yet. It hasn't proved itself worthy. Would love a level 2 deer. I can't. Like, it's just not doable right now. Even though the stats are nice, like, it's just, it's not doable. So... just keep it rolling. If you let me live for 1 more round, we get some of these units to level 2. Oh, we are not going to live for 1 more round. I'm always so stoked when I'm rolling, like, chocolate. Or not chocolate, but like a meta scaling build. I had chocolate on the brain there. But then when I see other people rolling it when I'm not rolling it, I'm like, you're a piece of crap. I don't, well, you know, we don't have any bets on the line here. Why don't we try to get strange with it? Like, I don't really know what's happening here, but I feel like you can definitely stick with this for 1 round. 3-2, 3-2, 3-1. It's not, admittedly, not very good. Be the running bagpipes. Like, this is like having, you know... like a pig and 2 ladybugs or something, but it's not that bad, honestly. Man, you got the ant at the back. I don't know what happened there. We picked up a win. Okay, that's nice. This is always where you find yourself in a conundrum, right? Like, do I combine them, thus minimizing the effects of their attacks? Yes. Yes, you do. And then... friend summoned. I would rather just make sure that you get the hit, honestly. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what we're going to do. You have 2 HP, so, you know, welcome. Welcome to the squad. You have 3 HP. Welcome to the squad. Freeze me. Don't freeze that other beaver. It's kind of crazy, right? Like a 6'4" horse, and none of those stats are temporary. Okay. Look, it's bad, we're gonna lose, but not abnormal. Like, anytime you take the horses early, you kind of accept you're gonna go through a rough patch. Why don't you buy me? Combine me. I'm not really in the interest of, you know, buying an ant and then pilling it this turn, but I'll buy an ant and pill it next turn. You know, let's get 1 turn of value out of it. It's exactly what we want to see, except we don't want it to hit an ant or a beaver. It's quite nice. The ox is going to slap next turn, by the way. This looks okay. Because you're just going to pill the ants in front of the ox. And all of a sudden, you know, things are getting mighty interesting here. We're right in the midst of this. So, something has to get sold. It should be you. Don't hit the ant. It's not so bad. You get summoned. Take your buff. You get pilled. Horse is really sticking around because it's a 9-7 now. At some point, we are going to get rid of the otter. But that point is not right now. Come on. It's actually like an okay horse and ox build, you know? Like we're putting the spider in position 2 because it spits out sheep sometimes that, you know, if we want both rams to spawn, we need it there. We get a couple of ox triggers and a horse trigger off of this. Porcupine's gonna maybe throw a little bit of a monkey wrench into this, but it's not so bad. Honestly, like, might be worse for them than it is for me. Definitely is gonna be worse for them than it is for me. Now we're coming back. Certainly an interesting position. You can go, but I also do like this. And to be honest with you, a Kangaroo, I think this is better stats. Kangaroo starts at 1-2 now, so we skipped one attack. Obviously, one of those attacks is only, temporary, but still. A horse already, huh? Or a squirrel. I'm sorry. My brain. Why not? We can buy 2 foods alongside this. So it's a 2-5. There's going to be a 4-5. Start of turn, discount shop food by 1 gold. Squeeze me? Well, look, you're sticking around because you're probably going to get pilled in front of an ox, just being honest. Let's keep this Kangaroo. Anytime it can skip like a level, it's good. So I guess they figured the squirrel was too powerful. Or, you know what? This actually might be a genuinely kind of sick buff to the squirrel. Because usually when you bought it, you got gated on the amount of food you can produce. Now the fact that it keeps that food cheap, that's kind of incredible. But maybe only the first 2 things you get in the shop? Cupcake for 2, I mean, it's fine. By the way, you were definitely going to get pilled. And we still get the discount? We roll once, we don't get the discount. Fair enough. It makes a lot of sense, quite frankly. Don't really need a camel. Don't really want to buy a beaver just to buy it at this point. I think garlic on our horse, because it appears that we're going to stick with it. Looks pretty good right now. I mean, it's an expensive buy, but I don't think it's that bad, you know, to like, especially if we got our ox to level 2, but to get, for 4 gold, we get 2 attack and +2/+1 on somebody. Okay, so like, honestly, they just outthought us here. More power to you. The mosquito melon armor destroyer, like, did some great work there. Either way, we love this. 4 gold. It's a little pricey when you could just instead, like, put a penguin out there. We know that we can sell an otter soon. Like, a deer beats an otter. But the otter is also getting a buff from the penguin. But the buff is fairly meager. Okay, I think you... This is like a sell... Not even high, but like sell at mid-range situation. What if you rolled some snipers alongside of this? This penguin is so not good right now. Like, it's basically a giraffe, but a giraffe that can only hit your horse. I like this. I don't mind this. Look at that. You killed your own ox. I mean, you got mine eventually, don't get me wrong. They're going to scale so much better than me. We got a little lucky. We pulled that out while we were still ahead in the power curve, I think. I mean, legitimately, like, I hate to do it. We're really, like, accomplishing very little. Except winning, sort of. For 3 gold, man? I guess that's our best chance moving forward, but I don't know how long you're going to stick around for. I think the whale deer, you know, it was overrated for a while. You saw it like literally every time you played the game. Now I actually think it might be slightly underrated. Actually accomplished a lot of great stuff for us right there. In a scaling meta with a melon kicker like this, I think we're actually doing pretty well getting 2 splash damage units to get summoned. But it doesn't scale too well into the late game. I think you could just roll a deer and then put a monkey at the back. Again, we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants. You don't really want an ox at the front. If you wanted to be crazy, you could roll a horse at the front. This is, like, legitimately what we want to see. The snake behind the kangaroo is probably the right move. But it requires us to sell something. You know what? I can't sell this horse yet. Like, it's an anchor in a good way. I think you have to sell the ox. And it brings me no great pleasure. But at least we know, unless we roll against something with a chili pepper, probably a bus is the most likely, at least we know, sure, that this snake will get a few plays. No, we need a snake behind kangaroo. Snake behind kangaroo, man. Hold on. That's why we keep the horse around. We're going nowhere. That, I don't know if you run the numbers on that one. If we put snake behind kangaroo, the kangaroo gets a little more jacked. But, well, we need the stats. Like, we're on lethal life here. I think it's a little inappropriate to try to pivot to the dragon. What you do not want to see here is a level 1 7/6 kangaroo being like the part of your run where, you know, all of your efforts run through. Just my 2 cents. That's fairly unlikely to lead to great success. However, no, not the bee, man. Okay, well, I'm gonna roll one more back. We haven't even really gotten started yet, but I will say, I think we've run into some fairly difficult shops to predict. I don't mind, actually, a 2-3 cricket that spawns a little kicker afterwards. We haven't had, like, one of the things that I'm struggling with will be the soft cucumbers. In the new version of the patch is figuring out what identity to stick with for your run. You know? And I'm not saying this is a mistake in the way that the patch is operating, but when dog was tier 2, you saw it everywhere, but it did also give you the space to have something to build around for a bit. And you know what? Toss me a little bee on you. You're most likely to stick around for a little bit, I think. It gave you the space to be like, okay, I can buy, sell, and like make it through the mid-game, and then when we see some of those stronger units appear at the end, we'll make a decision about, you know, where this run's going to go from that point forward. Now that the dog is at tier 3, it's a little harder to finesse it. Sometimes you get that level up on round 3, and you're able to get it ASAP, but that's not always the case, as you see before you. You know what? I'm gonna embrace a probable loss for this round, in the interest of maybe getting this Scampy to level up and provide more benefit. You always got to consider things relative to the alternative, right? What was our alternative on this one? Squeeze, sir, I want some more. I don't know. What is the alternative you wanted to see me roll there? Pray that more dodos show up? Could work. I don't know. So we need this. We probably need this. That's good. We should have sold first if we were going to sell. I'm rolling. I'm going a little deeper here. And you know what? Let's start to take advantage of a little bit of the Scampy effect. At least get one of these out here. This is not a good run. It has no identity. It has no anchor unit. It has no stats. I'm scared because I see units that have 6 HP on the enemy team, and I'm like, I don't know how we're going to punch through 6 HP. The answer is pretty simple. We're not. So how do we make up some difference here? Well, the answer is we scale, but how? Probably we start to do things that would seem pretty stupid. Like paying 2 gold for 1 HP. That's pretty dumb. I'm going to roll. I love a turtle. We just don't have the stats to do anything with it right now. I'm going to pill you anyway. Like, don't think I'm not going to pill you just because you picked up some stats there. This team is slightly better, but I think that on round 5, an 8-7 Scampy with meat is probably not going to get you where you need to go. That Kangaroo's going to do a number on us, man. Not that good for my self-esteem, to be honest with you. To be not even like just losing, but to be so obviously like outclassed right now is a slap in the face. Okay, you get out of here. We can do something like this. I don't want to eat a 7-8 cricket. It might be like one of our few chances to hang here. Well, I guess if we were going to do this, we should have... Well, it's not like we can really change it now, but it's just the snail is not what we need it to be. Financially speaking, temporally speaking. I really need you to not let the Kangaroo get so buff. It's going to cause me a boatload of problems here. It's definitely a loss, and I think the snail is going to do a killing blow. I can't leave you like that on a one-win run. Like, that's just... It's embarrassing. At some point, we got to acknowledge maybe it's not the shop's doing. I'll take a 3-2 temporarily. 4-2? I'll take a 3-2. I'll take the songs that remind you of the good times. I'll take the songs that remind us of the best times. For now, this is good. I'd actually like it to hit the horse. That way the horse has a little bit more HP. Freeze this. I don't even... It still will be the silly posers, okay? Because, like, right now, I feel like a silly poser. I do also feel like I'm playing against the same builds at all stages of the game, but, like, I digress. What is the main build? Camel Kangaroo or Spider Kangaroo or anything that gets guaranteed triggers in front of a Kangaroo. But you know what? That's the way the game is played. We got a little sneaky play coming up that I'm excited to see. Yes, get that fish out of here. What is the sneaky play? The so-called sneaky play? Well, you get your horse to level 2. You might get access to a good level 3 unit like a dog that could really kickstart you. Like, really take you into the next stage of the game. This is a loss, but only by 2. I mean, this, you know, the ant gave out a really nice buff to that pig. I'm not sweating it, man. This is now, like, at least we have something going for us. And there's a camel. Okay, now we can start to be the thing that we hate the most. I'm going to just embrace the cell of you so that this cell hits the units we want it to hit. Then, for one turn, okay. For one turn, I will roll this. Because I'd really like to win this round. Our horse does fine here. The pig, I don't know. Like, I don't want the camel to give it stats, but its stats end up being not so good. You know, like, it doesn't really matter if it gets more stats if its HP is, like, garbage to begin with. This went amazingly. And what can you say? A single porcupine ruins our day, but it didn't. So, there you go. Nothing here appeals to me too much. Maybe you could say, like, a dodo starting to feed into a horse. You have to get a little lucky. But what else is new? We're really fishing for a kangaroo more than anything else. Dude, I don't mind a mosquito here, honestly. I'll take my level up straight away, even though it might drive you a little crazy. Why not? So we need some things here. I love the idea of our horse getting to level 3, being like an early game helper, and then in the late game also doing some stuff for us. Well, it's not going so well, but that's okay. What kind of stuff? Oh, kangaroo, surprise, surprise. Well, like being an engine for our bison to get stronger, like if we're lucky enough to get there. We now no longer have the excuse of like a suboptimal shop. This is pretty amazing. Guess we could have combined, brought the dodos here, gotten a little extra out of it, but so be it. Wonderful. I'm a little scared about the idea of a camel feeding a camel, but, like, Let's give it a little try. For now, I'm feeling okay about it. You gotta at least respect the fact that they went all in with the build. I will admit as well, I have to admit, I respect the fact that they're rolling a Kangaroo. Not because I think that it's particularly, like, cool, because I think that it's actually just maybe in the current meta one of the most insanely overpowered mid-game units you could ever ask for. But because of the fact that I want one and don't want to be called a hypocrite when I pick one up after saying, like, you know, oh, Kangaroo, how original. So you gotta live by the sword, die by the sword in that sense. But there's no denying it. I'm basically getting shellacked here. I really want to fish for those level 2s. This is really good. Better than an average random unit. You know what? This is because I believe in our future. That level 2 camel, 2 penguins, all of a sudden we got a 10-win run. Oh, it must be a miracle. What's miraculous about this? Are you kidding me? I'll tell you what's miraculous about this. First off, we didn't lose. Secondly, we didn't see a kangaroo, which definitely would have tipped the balance. Sure. Scorpion feels like it could hit the spot at the front for now. Definitely we will sell you. I'm a believer in the can. Use it now. And the reason... It's a very perspective, Bison. That's very nice. One of the reasons I'm such a believer in the can right now is because we have the ability to lose one without dying. Which is going to happen. I must have overslept or something. Like, is my brain pure mush? Like, what's happening here? Why am I getting beaten so badly on runs that actually, like, appear to be not that bad? Like, for round 8, this is not that bad, man. I mean, I got a level 2 horse jammed in the middle. Maybe it's a little worse than I gave it credit for. Holy crap, we actually got the better of a kangaroo. It can happen. Your dreams can come true. Okay, let me get this penguin popping, man. Let me get this penguin popping, okay? You have to roll a kangaroo. I think you roll it instead of a horse. The horse, admittedly, has been a very important part of the team. And this could sink us. Admittedly, you can actually put a tiger instead of a scorpion and put the tiger behind the kangaroo. But we got to live through this round. Which is admittedly a little spicy. We can't really afford to get rid of the penguin. Level 2 kangaroo would be nice. Just no melon armor, pure garbage units. I don't like the way they got this set up here. No, I don't mind the way they got this set up here. Look at that kangaroo, man. It's popping. It's popping. My confidence rising, soaring, spreading my wings like an eagle or a phoenix or both. It's just such a good unit to sell. Not yet. Not yet, old friend. We really, really need a level 2 kangaroo. Where do I place you? It's so important. Sell me? This is not smart, but... Buy me? Buy me? Sell me? Pray? Pray? This is praying? We're praying now? That dude, level 2 kangaroo would change everything, because we like lose to a bus right now. Is actually like, we're gonna lose, just to be clear, but it's miraculous that it was even close. This they send a better class of criminal to this game. That's like an amazing run to get 3 wins on. Either way, I'm not salty. It just means I gotta stick in the game. I gotta practice a little bit. Get ready not streaming this and embarrass myself. For now, though, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to do some soul searching, and I'll see you next time. See ya!